Hello YouTube, this is ShamanDragon, and I'm going to show you how to make, well, my way of how I do it, how to make maps for your tabletop games. Doesn't matter if it's this edition or that edition, you're always going to need maps. And we're just going to focus on world maps. We're not going to create interiors yet. I'm going to use the computer for that. I'll have that in a different video. And I'm probably just going to show you how to make the outline of your area. Now I have like several steps of how I make maps. First one, the outline. This way you can have a random looking place that looks really cool when you're done with it. And also the second step is making stuff like mountains and trees and rivers and stuff like that. Now I don't know if you guys can hear some pounding going on or other noises. There's like construction going on outside. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, the point is, all you need is paper and a pencil or a pen. I recommend a pencil, so this way you can erase whatever you're doing. And if you are, let's see. Now you just need probably some cereal, which is what I got. Now this cereal is stale. I mean, it's been on my fridge for enough time to where there's like 3 layers of dust all over it. Now I already created a map earlier. We're going to create another one. And the reason why I'm creating this one first and create a new one is because of this spot and this spot down here. This is supposed to be a whole continent, so it's going to be connected to another part of the continent. So when you're making a map, go ahead and, you could go ahead and plan what you're making. If you're going to make a very big, huge map that you're going to post out there for your games, this will work. Okay. So what I'm going to do first, if you have a map that's already made with lines that indicate, hey, there's the rest of the continent, just kind of line up your paper like so, if I can just get it there. And then we're going to just make a nice little mark that indicates where the map is going to be. So we have those 2 little dots. Now for the fun part. You can take as much cereal as you want and just kind of spread it everywhere, randomly put it there. I'm just going to take a lot. Okay, that's probably way more than what I actually need, but let's see. So this is going to be land over here. Now all you're doing is just tracing around the Cheerio. I can't talk today. Tracing around the cereal. I'm getting tongue-tied like crazy. That's all you need to do is just trace around it. Now we're going to make random indications over here and stuff like that. We'll try to make this into a nice... let's see here. Try to get like maybe a nice cove or something. Now this doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough to where you have the outline of whatever you're making. Okay, now we're gonna start. Okay, you know what? I forgot where the indication of that thing is. Oh, there you are. So we're gonna start with one line, and we're just gonna make a full circle back to this one. Just like so. Now the map. Now, as you can see, I'm pushing some of these things. That's perfectly fine. Maps don't need to be perfect. Now, some people will say they have to be perfect. They really don't. They really don't need to be perfect. They just need to look the way you roughly need. And then you can always come back and redo the map as long as you got enough paper. This is why I recommend pencil Then when you're done with the pencil, or whatever you're using to erase with, you can just come back with a pen and make it permanent. I'm not going to go in there because I think I'll be bopping these things around a little too much. There we go. And there we go. We have our outline. I'm going to try and get it back in the bowl real quick. There we go. And there is our new part of the continent. Now, I guess what I could have done is put some more cereal right here. This way there's a bridge. So this way this can be like a lake in this empty spot over here. But that's pretty much how you make it. Now, about mountains and rivers and stuff, I made some mountains earlier. You want to make like a little triangle, and wherever you put the triangles around it, that's the direction of the mountain range. Now, there are websites where you can actually make your own maps, but I think it's better to hand draw it myself because I don't want copyrights or anything in case I actually have my own stuff posted online. Now, you do want a little shading, but you want to make sure all the shading on your map is going to go the same direction, because it's supposed to signify the sun. Where the sun position is, the sun is over there, according to this little paper here. Shadows over there. Now, as for rivers and lakes and stuff, now, this is not an interior. I want to make this clear that interiors, that's when you have to be specific on where water is flowing. Let's get this this way. I need to stop putting my hands all over the place. Let people actually look at this. Okay. So you want to make sure that something like mountains and rivers and hills and stuff, if you're putting in a map where your players are going to be walking around the map. Whoa! Okay. The tower of boxes started to fall over when I pounded this thing. Anyway, okay. Point is that if you're going to do an interior area that for an adventure, I want to say adventure, not dungeon, because adventure area is what I rather call it. Because if we said dungeon, that means referring to a specific place. We want people to, if you're going to do an interior, I'm going to show an interior in another video. I'm going to do it online, I think, but I think I will show it on paper just to give everybody a good idea of what I'm talking about. But pretty much, you want everything to make sense when you're making a map. Now, if you're making a map like this, that's showing the continent, the island, the land that everybody's going to be playing in, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to be specific on where water flows or anything like that. But when you're putting an adventure area map, you have to be specific. Things have to make sense. And that's what this series is going to be. Thank you for following along. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.